virtual reality dreams, and the quantum mind. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's graphic analysis. Are you ready to completely disrupt your perception of this world? Today, we are going to dismantle a super brain-burning, yet absolutely fascinating theme: the unbelievable intersection between ancient spiritual wisdom and modern quantum physics. Have you ever felt that this world sometimes feels so fake that it's practically a dream? Let's dive right in. First, I want you to ask yourself a question that might sound a bit crazy. Can you be absolutely certain that you are awake right now? Try tapping the desk in front of you, or touching the screen you are looking at. It feels very solid and real, right? But does it truly exist as a solid reality? It perfectly echoes a deeply shocking statement mentioned in the text. Upon awakening, the vast universe is completely empty. It sounds a bit abstract, doesn't it? But it actually hints at something utterly revolutionary. All the joys and sorrows, the ups and downs, and the various encounters we experience every single day might just be one ultimate grand illusion. When a person truly awakens, they will find that these seemingly indestructible worlds do not exist at all. Chapter 1: The Grand Illusion. Let's start by shattering our everyday perception and redefining what true reality actually is. The text mentions a deeply disruptive yet incredibly clear core law: anything that changes cannot be called the ultimate reality. Think about how our physical bodies, which seem continuous as we grow from childhood to old age, the high mountains and flowing rivers, which appear eternal but actually shift with tectonic movements, or even the electrons under a microscope that are constantly darting around in chaos as long as it is in a state of change. It is, in essence, a false illusion. Only that which is changeless throughout eternity is the true, absolute reality. Chapter 2: The Law of the Mirror. So, if everything around us is a constantly shifting illusion, how exactly does this illusion operate? There has to be a rule, right? This points to the fact that the universe is actually like a perfectly flawless mirror, or an echo in a mountain valley. Whatever you shout into the valley, it bounces right back to you without a single alteration. The material offers a super vivid analogy. When a cat looks into a mirror, it is absolutely impossible for it to reflect the image of a human. This implies that everything we encounter in life, whether it's an infuriating boss or a sudden stroke of good luck's merely the exact reflection of our own past actions and creations. Without that specific cause, that specific phenomenon simply will not manifest. Chapter 3: Writing Your Own Source Code. Hearing this, you might feel like we are completely helpless, left to be pushed around inside a dream. But it is actually quite the opposite. We hold absolute initiative because we themselves are the programmers. You see, the operating mechanism of karma is far more precise than you imagine. Your every single action, every word you speak, and even every tiny thought that flashes through your mind, which the ancients called body, speech, and mind, are quite literally writing the underlying source code for your world. Then, the mirror of the universe projects that code out, turning it into the reality you experience. Yes, it is exactly like playing an immersive video game. The text brilliantly compares our deeply rooted karma and habits to the underlying code that runs this entire simulated world. This code determines whether the world before your eyes is filled with bright sunshine or endless gloomy rain. In other words, the rotten things you encounter in your life are actually just bugs you wrote yourself. Chapter 4: Trapped in a Daydream. But this derives a massive question. Since it is the code we wrote ourselves, why on earth do we make ourselves suffer so much? This is where the biggest blind spot lies. Whether you are lying in bed at midnight dreaming, or walking down the street in broad daylight running this reality software, it is exactly the same set of systems. The driving force behind both is entirely our craving and attachment for comfort and ease. The only difference is that at night, you shut down your physical senses, whereas during the day, your sense organs are wide open. We deeply believe that the daytime illusion is real, completely failing to notice that the underlying logic is exactly identical. The text uses a highly visual, ancient metaphor, scooping the moon out of the water. Because of our craving for comfort, we see the beautiful reflection of the moon in the water and frantically try to grasp it. When we catch it, we feel a fleeting moment of satisfaction. But the moment we open our hand, there is absolutely nothing there. So, we anxiously start catching it again, whether it is chasing wealth or relationships. This is the very root of suffering. We are constantly trying to empty-handedly catch reflections of light in a virtual pond. Chapter 5: Quantum Reality. Are you ready for the ultimate bombshell? We are now going to connect this ancient philosophy with the absolute forefront of science. This is truly miraculous. The mechanisms discovered by quantum physics are almost identical to the concepts of illusion and observation described in ancient classics. Scientists have discovered that when there is no observer involved, things exist merely as a wave of infinite possibilities. The moment your mind intervenes and observes, the wave instantly collapses into a solid particle, ultimately becoming the physical matter before our eyes. The more condensed matter becomes, the more it loses its original, infinite freedom. What's even cooler is the holographic universe principle, currently proposed by physicists. They believe that the solids we see are, in essence, purely illusions made of information. Did you know, if you were to completely extract the empty vacuum space inside the atoms of the entire human race, the total volume of all humanity wouldn't even fill a single sugar cube? This perfectly echoes what we said earlier. Everything is truly just the manifestation of information and underlying code. This also explains why ancient practitioners used specific sound mantras or super powerful focus, just like a head singer. Shattering a glass masters are actually changing the vibrational frequency of this cosmic holographic map. A powerful state of mind is the fastest, most direct cheat code to alter the state of quantum waves. Chapter 6. Mastering the Dreamscape. Having understood so many hardcore mechanisms, here comes the most important question. Since everything everywhere is a dream, how do we escape this loop? The ultimate answer might actually make you breathe a sigh of relief. The truth is, you don't need to run away at all. The key point is that once you recognize this as a simulated program written by you, and you awaken inside the dream, the door to the birdcage flies wide open. You are no longer controlled by fear. Instead, you possess the absolute power to rewrite this entire dreamscape. The state of awakening means using the blueprints left behind by past masters to mindfully write premium code for yourself. Stop grasping at the moon and the water. You can give generously and display ultimate patience and wisdom. Since everything is programmed by you, you have the power at any given moment to transform a high-pressure nightmare into a projection of absolute freedom, beauty, and unhindered ease. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought-provoking question. Next time you react strongly to the world around you, when you are so angry you want to scream, or when you feel overwhelmed by fear, hit the pause button first. Ask yourself, what kind of signal are you currently projecting into the mirror of the universe? Since you are the master programmer, what kind of future code do you plan to write next? Thank you for watching today's graphic analysis. I hope it brought you a brand new perspective. This material is shared by the Buddha Activity Association of Australia. See you next time.